All right, Mark here again, cooking books, bringing information. So I put a video up saying the black woman is not God. So this is part 2. This one is called The Black Woman is My Queen, Not My God. I'll say it again. Black women, you are my queen. You are not my God. Okay? And I just want to say that the tenets, right? The premise or the argument that is used to justify godifying women, black women particularly, it's nonsensical. And here's why. One of the tenets I hear floating around out there are that the black woman is born with all the eggs she'll ever need over her entire lifetime. And that's a fact. That is true. But how does that godify the black woman? Because she's born with all her eggs in her ovaries. Like, again, that does not godify you. How does that make a black woman God? And then what even puzzles me further is if that's a tenet or one of the arguments you put forth to justify godifying a black woman, well, then you would have to godify the Chinese woman, you'd have to godify the Asian, you'd have to godify the Indian, you'd have to godify the Caucasian, because all women are born with all their eggs. It's not exclusive to just black women. So fellas that are running that God game, because that's what I call it, G&G, that God game, fellas was running the God game on these young, beautiful queens, my queens, be aware that it's God game. And that you are not the only, as a black woman, you're not the only, you're not a exclusive race or nationality that is born with all your eggs. All women are born with all their eggs. It's not exclusive to you alone. So if they're coming at you from that angle, be aware and conscious that it's this game to stroke your ego or your lack of self-esteem, to exploit that lack of self-esteem, or a chasm, or a chasm, however you want to pronounce it. A chasm or a chasm is a crack or a break. And if they see a crack in you, whether it's a crack that shows that you have low self-esteem, lack of confidence, you know, they will try to wedge that chasm and fill that void with this nonsense that you're a God. You're not God. Also, so that's one of the things I've heard. You're born with all your eggs. That's a fact, but that doesn't godify you. All women have all their eggs at birth, throughout their lifetime, and you guys lose about 13,000 of those eggs during your cycle, monthly, do your monthly cycle. So that doesn't godify you. Again, you are my queen. You're not my God. I will say that as a theme throughout this video, because I don't want women to think that I am anti or bashing my sisters. I love you. I just want to give you a better enlightenment and a better mindset, a better frame of mind, so you're not easily duped or hoodwinked, bamboozled, taken for a ride. Skullduggery. You know, there's a lot of skullduggery going on out there. And, you know, watch out for that guy his name is Tom. He will hit you with the tomfoolery, buffoonery. And, you know, so you got to look out for that. So another tenet, another thing I hear is that you're a creator of life. Now, I mentioned in the last video that that's specious argument, right? It's authentically dubious, right? It's dubious authenticity. If I say I'm an artist, right, and I say this is my work that I created, that statement starts with the pronoun I, and I is the first letter in independent, right? So if I say I created this, the very first letter I lets you know that it's an independent work that I independently and exclusively created. I have complete and sole proprietorship. This is mine. I own this proprietorship. I did this. You cannot say that, my beautiful queen. My queens out there, you cannot say that you are a creator of life. Do not let them dupe you again. Do not let them deceive, mislead, and delude you into this frame of mind and this way of thinking. That does not godify or give you God status, because you are not a exclusive independent creator of life. You are a co-creator of life. Your ova has to travel. Your egg travels down your ovary into your uterus, where it meets my gamete, which is the sperm cell, and together the fertilization process takes place. And then, you know, you do, however, continue what's called the gestational process, right? Because you gestate, which means develop and cultivate the the fetus, the child, the baby, throughout the trimester. You have 1, 2, and 3. So you do continue the gestational process. That is incumbent upon you. That as far as the co-creation and the process, you are responsible for the gestational process, the nurturing. You're the first nurturer. That's why you have what's called feminine energy and estrogen, and feminine and masculine, and feminine. But the feminine aspect of energy, you are the proponent, the carrier of that feminine energy, the estrogen, estradiol, and you are the first nurturer, giver, teacher, educational, all of that to that child. I give all of that rest upon you. What rests upon us as men, we are the masculine. And if you understand masculine energy gives. Again, feminine energy receives, right? It's nurturing, it's soft, it's fluid. That's feminine energy. Take away, exclude for a moment the persons, the gender. Exclude the persons, the gender. Just focus on the energy. Feminine energy is more receptivity, okay? It's nurturing, it's soft, it's fluid, it's relaxed, it's laid back, it lets things flow. This is it in terms of its geometry, it's curvaceous and swirls. If you were able to study feminine energy, and you would actually see its geometry, it actually has a curvaceous and swirls in terms of its geometry, whereas masculine energy is straight lines and angles, right? And masculine energy is focused, right? It's driven, it's goal oriented, it's control. This is the energy, and that energy you can say parallels testosterone, right? It runs line in line with testosterone. And here's the interesting thing: I have masculine energy, and I have both I have masculine and feminine energy. A woman has both feminine and masculine energy. We have a mixture of both, different in terms of proportion, right? Proportionately, I have more masculine energy than I do feminine. Females have more feminine than they do masculine. However, we have a mixture of both, which is necessary. Just like testosterone and estrogen. Men have estrogen as well as testosterone. Women has estrogen as well as testosterone. Again, to different proportions based off gender and your sex. So there's so much more we could discuss with testosterone and estrogen. And, the more cholesterol you have in your body, you probably don't notice, the more cholesterol you have in your body, the more testosterone you'll create. The LH, which is secreted by the pituitary, I believe it's the pituitary gland, secretes the LH that works with the Leydig cells, which is in the scrotum, and that produces testosterone, converts cholesterol into testosterone. I read this stuff years ago, so if I might be a little bit off, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So, getting back to I hate when I digress because then I lose my train of thought. Okay, back to the train of thought. So saying that a woman is a god, the black woman is God because she creates life is, again, it's dubious authenticity. It's not a lie, but it's not a whole truth. Okay. Because again, you are a co-creator of life, not a sole creator. You do not have sole and exclusive proprietorship to this life that's being created, because I, as the male, take part in it, because you cannot create life without my gamete, and I can't make life without your gamete. And gametes are all cells that are not somatic. Somatic cells are all the cells that are not gametes, right? Gametes are the sexually reproductive cells. So the point I make is that to tell sisters that they're gods because you are my queen, you're not my god. I'll say it again. You are my queen, but you are not my god. And a lot of times when couples are having difficulties producing a child, getting pregnant, it's usually the men, not the women. But we'll never say that, right? Because of ego and pride, right? Male chauvinistic and machoism. But it's most often the men, because here's the thing. As far as I said, the gestational process is incumbent upon the women. That's a fact. The gestational process, which is the cultivation, the nurturing, the bringing the child to term, is incumbent upon the woman. But the actual implantation, right, of sperm meeting egg, the implantation of the sperm penetrate. See, again, the masculine energy gives, feminine energy receives, right? This is the energy. Don't worry about the person, the energy. Masculine energy is a giver. Feminine energy is a receiver. It's receptivity. If you study energy and masculine, feminine energy, that's the general theme. We can always go into details and so on and so forth and dissect it, but the general theme is matching. And this is shown in the whole process of childbirth, child creation, and pregnancy. The male sperm has to travel against gravity. That's why doctors will tell you, if you're trying to get pregnant or whatever, they'll tell a female to like arch her back up when you're having sex. They'll tell you to arch your back or put a pillow under your back or something, so that it can assist the sperm cell. Because remember, the egg that's in the woman falls from her ovaries to her uterus, right, into the fallopian tube and so forth and so forth. So the gravity pulls that down naturally. If she's standing up, gravity will always, you stand up most of the time throughout your day, gravity will pull that down. Whereas with us, with men, here's why it's incumbent upon us to impregnate and to penetrate, because a female egg has what's called a zona pellucida, which is a layer that surrounds the egg and protects it while it travels from the uterus to the ovary against, whatever other elements in the body. So it's a protective layer. Your sperm, the reason, look, we let off 3 billion sperms per ejaculation, right? That should tell you something too. Only one make it to the egg, right? So, and the reason why there's only one, because in the anterior vaginal area, there's a tremendous amount of acid, and the semen that covers the sperm cell has fractions of a second to make it through certain areas, through the anterior vaginal area, because that area is the most acidic, especially if a woman's pH is, if it's above 7, if it's like if it's below 7, and it's in like the 6s, 6 point this, 5.9, 6.3. It's a lot. It's tremendous. A lot of acid. So your sperm cells will get destroyed. They're just going to get killed immediately. The minute they just start dying. And so, but here's the thing. Here's why it's incumbent upon us to impregnate the woman, right? Her egg doesn't have to meet. Her egg doesn't meet the sperm. Her egg is relaxing. Once it falls to where it needs to be in the left or right fallopian, the fallopian tubes, it's relaxing. It's chilling. But the sperm has to work its ass off. It has to bust 2.53 billion sperms, one gets to the egg. Again, that tells you something. And so here's why a lot of the times when you can't get pregnant, it's not necessarily the woman, it's more so the men. One, low sperm count, right? We have a low sperm count. That's a problem. Your batting average is low. You got to raise your sperm count. Two, it could be a diminished mitochondria. Mitochondria is the actual fuel that fuels the cell. It could be diminished mitochondria or diminished flagellum. Flagellum is the actual tail, what propels it. Or lack of motility. Motility is where from motility we get the word mobility. And we know what mobility means, to move, mobile, right? And we get the word mobile, right? Right. So, yeah. So if the sperm cell, so it's incumbent upon the sperm cell to reach the egg. Then when it reaches, if it reaches the egg, because it's a long way to go. Should it reach the egg, then you have the zona pellucida, which is the layer. You have what's called on the very, very top of the sperm cell, very, very top of the head. There's something called acrosomal, ACRO. Hold on, ACROSOMAL. Acrosomal. I think that's how you spell it. Acrosomal. Again, I read this stuff a long time ago. I'm just trying to refresh my memory. So acrosomal, but be that as that may, the acrosomal is a fluid on the very top of the sperm cell that has to, when it collides with the zona pellucida, it has what's called an acrosomal reaction, which is it has to break the zona pellucida. And if it doesn't break it, it can't get in. So all the pressure is up on the sperm to impregnate and to fertilize, or to meet and to get with the egg, right? So I don't know why I went that far with it. I don't know, it just went. But the point is that I'm making is that black men, stop telling the black woman she's God because she's a creator of life. She's not a creator of life. She's a co-creator. She works with you, men. You're not a creator of life. You work with her. Masculine, feminine energy, estrogen and testosterone. Okay, you can call it the yin and the yang, the sun and the moon, whatever. It's a duality. There's a duality there. A black woman can't go out and just say, okay, I'm going to create life. You know, God, only God can do that. God can speak life into existence. He can make something out of nothing. It's called the invisible stuff. You know, you study science and you come across Niels Bohr. You read about Einstein. You read about Newton, Galileo. You read, you know, Heisenberg. You read about all these different scientists, and you'll see they all kind of come to the invisible stuff concept. You know, so stop telling these black women they're God. They're black women. Take it from me. You are my queen. You are not my God. And there's nothing. Listen, queen status is good. Okay. Don't let your ego or your ego need to be that inflated where you need to be called a god either, sisters. Like, walk with your head held high. Like I said, be very proud, be very confident. You're strong. You are my lioness. I'm your lion. You're my lioness. Okay. There's many titles that we can label and give you to help lift you. Because I understand why brothers do it. Because like I said before, it's the most sycophantical type of lick-spittling compliment you can give someone. You know, the boot licking, lick-spittling, apple polishing, you know, sickening, sycophanting, right? It's the charm. It's the charm of all charms that you can cast and thrust upon a woman, especially one who have low self-esteem. If a woman has really, really low self-esteem, because a woman who's confident, who's strong, and who knows herself, she's not going to fall for that bullshit. She's just not. She's not. You know what I'm saying? So sisters, you know, take heed. Stop letting these men put y'all in polygamous relationships, because now you become a part of his stable. Right? You become a part of this guy, this charlatan, this swindler, sweet talker, this smooth, sweet talking snake charmer. You're part of his stable. And your confidence, your real confidence is so diminished and so gone and so broken. And you're so under the spell that you are cool with being the side chick to the side chick to the side chick. Because now there's like 3, 4, 5 of y'all. So you're the side chick to the side chick to the side chick to the side chick. You're worth more than that, sisters. You know what I'm saying? You're beautiful. You're a queen. Stop letting guys with sweet tongues serenade you with nonsense. All right? Till next time. Again, you are my queen, never my God. Peace.